Hey everyone, welcome to week 3 of medical terminology. So this week we're going to be focusing on sensory systems in the human body. So first things first, just talking about feedback. So last week's assignment was just about being able to find feedback and be able to respond to it. I put a decent amount of time into creating this feedback so that you guys can know how to do better on your future assignments and also to help you guys learn. Because that's the goal of this class is to help you guys learn the material. So I know some of you were a little stressed out about it last week, but we were able to find it out how to do it. Um, Luckily, we had IT to step in as well to help us. Okay, this week we do have a quiz. So it just goes over a few things: pathologies, medical terms, suffixes and prefixes, combining terms, a few other things. There's also a practice quiz that goes over a lot of the same material that you can use as many times as you want. It's a super helpful tool. And then you do get 3 attempts to do this quiz, and you get the highest score. So it is open book. So you're more than welcome to use the materials that are provided on Moodle. So quick overview of the reading this week. So you have a few sensory systems that we use. So we have vision, we have our somatosensory system, we have equilibrium, our auditory system, our audition, uh, gustation, and then also olfaction. And so those are kind of the 6 main sensory systems that we use. And we're going to talk about just a quick overview of everything. So the first one is olfaction. So this is just chemical stimuli. So you smell fresh baked bread or something, you will actually, chemicals will bind with receptors in your nose. That's transported by the nerves to the cerebrum, which then goes to uh, several parts of the temporal lobe, and it also goes to hypothalamus, where it's stored in long-term memory. And so, real quick, point A to point B, pretty cool. The second one is gustation. So this is your taste. Once again, this is a chemical type of receptor. And so, your food, you eat it, you taste it. What's happening is you just have chemicals that are attaching to the different binding sites on your tongue. So you have 5 different types of taste, and you'll go over that a little bit in the reading. Yeah. The next one is audition. So that's your auditory system. So what happens is sound starts to sound the waves in the outer ear, where it enters the ear. Once it gets to the middle ear, your ossicles, which are the bones, they actually take those sound waves and they translate it into vibrations. Those vibrations then move to the inner ear, where the cochlea actually turns it into electrical signals, which is then transported to your brain and it's processed there as sound. And so that's how we hear. Next system is our equilibrium system. So it takes sensory feedback from the cochlea. What you have is a bunch of little cilia on the inside of the cochlea. And what they do is these cilia, these tiny little hairs, they can sense movement in the fluid in there, and they can kind of tell you what's going on. And so it's super important for your cochlea to be able to sense what's going on, because that's where your balance comes from. Um, People who have had injuries where they've fallen a lot from a large distance will actually have some disorder going on with the cilia, and they'll have to get intervention by a medical professional to kind of help get that equilibrium back. Usually it's a pretty easy fix. It just requires a skilled practitioner who knows how to fix it. So next one is your somatosensory. So this is kind of what we think of as our touch system. So that's proprioception, interoception, and nociception. And so what those are is proprioception is just kind of being able to feel kind of where your body is in the 3-dimensional space. So it's, my foot is out there or my foot is here. It's this idea of being aware of where everything is. Interoception is kind of what's going on the inside. So that's your hunger hormones and feelings. That's feeling hot, feeling cold, a lot of other kind of interior type feelings. Next one is your nociception. And so what that is that's your kind of your pain response. So if you hurt yourself in any way, that's nociception. And then obviously touch, that's your pressure sensors, your corpuscles, all those little nervous things that are nervous system things that kind of help you feel sensation. So when you pick up a book or you touch a flower or anything outside, that's just touch. Those are the nerve endings in your skin. Next one is just vision. And so what that is light hits the sensory organs in your eye. Those sensory organs then transcribe that into an electrical signal, which then gets transferred to the occipital lobe through some nerves. It's pretty simple. And then, yeah, and so with all the sensory systems, the biggest thing is this is all part of the nervous system. And so, it's your nervous system making sense of the outside world. It's taking all these different sensations, all these different stimuli, and it's turning it into electrical signals and it's processing it in the brain and saying, okay, this is what's going on. This is how I need to react to it. If it's really cold, your body's going to say, oh, that's not good. I need to maintain my body temperature. Let's put on a coat or let's go somewhere warm. And so these sensory systems are really important to the basic function of the body and kind of keeping everything happy and in balance. So that's all I have for this week for the kind of the overview. If you have any questions, you can reach me either through email or my office hours are by appointment over Zoom. So hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day, or sorry, Labor Day, and I will see you guys next week.